Let's see. How come I'm forgetting so much tonight? I don't know. 27 years ago. 29. Oh, man. One of those nights, but we're going to have fun anyway. People say, Joey, you never make a mistake on television. That's because I know how to edit the program. I cut all this stuff out. Anyway, here we go. 29 years ago, I walked into a jewelry store to buy a battery for my watch. Out walked the most beautiful girl that I'd ever seen. It was Victoria to wait on me. We got to talking, and I found out that she was a good Christian girl. I thought, that's great, because if she wasn't, I was sure about to convert her. I went in there to buy a battery for my watch. She ended up selling me a whole new watch. She's been taking my money ever since then. I had never really dated before. I was in my early 20s, and I grew up playing sports. And I was playing baseball 5 nights a week and tournaments on the weekend. And, you know, like I said, never really dated. I thought, you know, God, I'm tired of hanging out with all these guys. I need to find me a woman. And I saw Victoria, the most beautiful girl. I thought, God just answered my prayer. And I got my nerve up, and I asked her to go out on a date. You know, it's interesting, our first date. It's interesting how God connects all the dots and how God's got the plan for our life. But the first date I asked her to go to was to a Rockets basketball game there in the Compact Center. I had season tickets, and if you know much about our ministry, that's where we have church every week now, right there in the Compact Center. And I was thinking about this. If you would have told me, my dad went to be with the Lord in 1999, if you would have told me, let me say this, I had never ministered before. For 36 years, my dad tried to get me up to minister, but I didn't have the desire to minister. I know now it wasn't the right time, but I didn't think I could do this. I didn't think I could get up in front of people. And that's why I said earlier, you have gifts and talents in you that you don't know you have. I couldn't even get up and make the announcements for my father. I couldn't take the offering. I was so nervous, Daddy, I wouldn't know what to say. But if you would have told me 15 years ago that one day I would be a minister, I would be here with you, and one day we would be having church in the former Compact Center, where I used to have season tickets to watch the Rockets play, I would have said, you're from another planet. You are not thinking clearly. Here's my point. God's dream for your life is so much bigger than your own. If you will keep being faithful, being your best right where you are, honoring God, God will get you to where He wants you to be. You know, sometimes we think, well, Joel, I'm just a business person. I'm just a student. I'm just an architect. I'm just a construction worker. You're not just anything. You're a child of the Most High God. God has breathed His life into you. He's equipped you. He's empowered you. Let me say this. Every day you go to work and you give it your best. You get there on time. You do more than you have to. You are passing the test. And sometimes we think, well, I'm not getting any credit at my work, or they're not treating me right. Listen, you're not working under people, you're working under God. God is the one that's keeping all the records. Let me tell you, when it's your time to be promoted, no person can stop you. No bad break, no boss, no company. God will get you to where you're supposed to be. Let me encourage you, you keep being your best right where you are. Keep honoring God. He is keeping the records. He'll get you to where you're supposed to be. And listen, some of you think, oh, Joel, I'm just working at this company. Yeah, but you don't know. That's what I thought. I'm just working at the church. Well, now I'm running the church. You may be working at that company. One day God's going to have you running that company. Or maybe He'll have you running your own company. And Joel, I'm just a teacher at this school. One day you may be running that school. One day you may be the principal. You don't know what God has in store for you.